Shalom Akim. I'm gonna give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Racha, Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who teach and rule well. And salutation to all the Akim in all four corners of earth who's pushing this truth with sincerity. Shalom Akim. Y'all want to get into this witch right here? This lady right here is Miley Cyrus. She has this sick world in a uproar right now. Because she said that God was gay, you know, and when you think about it, you know, these people, these Holly weirdos, it's a well-known fact that they worship a different God. They worship the money God, they worship the fame God, they worship that Caesarea, it gives them power to love everybody, and everybody will be saved doctrine, you know. And that's the God of this world, that wickedness that he promotes, and it allows these women, just to flourish and do as they will. The God of this world allows the LGBTQ plus to flourish. It allows the different rights to come on and parade around, party around. Look at these OnlyFans models and chicks like that that's on OnlyFans just making gazillions of money off of it. That's what the God of this world is basically about, is money, And then you have these witches like her that promote that, that love, the wickedness of this place, and they get to be stars, they get to be worshipped, and the scriptures speak against witches. This is Exodus 22:18. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. See, back in the day, you were able to get rid of these witches, these hand readers, these fortune tellers. The Lord does not deal with them, man. He is against all those. And these things are not new upon the earth, and that's one thing that these people fail to realize. They think that everything is just happening out of nowhere and everything is new. No, these things are old. These things have been here. Witches have been here. At the end of the day, yeah, she represents that LGBTQ plus lifestyle. She represents the do as thy wilt lifestyle. So of course, the things that they come out of their mouth are going to be absurd, But at the same time, they align with what's going on in society. A lot of these, between her and the other Edomite singer. Well, like I said, for example, for sure, she pursues that alphabet lifestyle. She has no problem with it. She parades around with it, and like I say, all the singers and entertainers of today's society, you have to bow down some way somehow, And the Lord knows that, man. The Lord puts a separation because and He gives you these false hopes and false images to believe on. This is James 4:4. Ye adulterers and adulteress, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with Yahweh. Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of the Lord, man. So the Lord is against all these, everybody can be saved, the Lord is with everybody doctrines, man. The Lord is against those people, man. If you're a friend of the world, then you're an enemy of the Lord, plain and simple, because these are the things that the world produces, wickedness. We're in a God, this is not a God-fearing society that we live in, although it lies and says it is. They always putting their hand on a Bible. That when you go to the different court systems, you have different lawyers. They'll dig up dirt and lie on you to try to win a case and stuff. Slocky. Yeah, they spew lies on, man. With their wickedness, man. This is Matthew 7, and I'm gonna start in 22 because one thing about our people, they feel as though they're already saved, and they're dwelling with the God of this world too. When you go to these churches, when you see him on TV, Reverend Pigfeet, when you see him twerking in churches and stuff like that, these guys are all a part of the world, man. You know, they're a part of that God that rules this wicked world, man. You know, we're ushering in the kingdom to come. You know, when the righteous power will take over, man. Not a power that's not this weak thing that's in power right now. This fake image they have up. You know, they changed the image. You know, uh, not none of this fakeness, man. We're gonna go away with all this stuff. None of this will enter into the kingdom of heaven. This is Matthew 7:22. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out many devils? It's like he cast out devils. And in thy name done many wonderful works. And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity, man. You know, and our people, you know, they want to continuously worship and sing and dance in these churches and go to these churches, and they're leading them to death, man. They're going to lead them to straight death. They're sending our people off, you know. You're going to be a friends of this world. Just like when you go to these churches, there's no difference between this Miley Cyrus rich, you know, there's no difference between the palm reading riches and all the rest of them, man. You're all under the same spell. You're all under the same guise, you know. This image of Cesare is a damning image, man, and it's blinding the whole world. And this is why our job is to knock down that stronghold and to tell our people to come out of that stronghold, you know, because this wicked world is fading away, you know. Righteousness is getting ready to kick in the door, you know. But yeah, you workers in inequity, you church people who continuously go to church, you continuously you got praise dances, you got praise studies and praise this and that. And what are you praising? You're praising the God of this world. That's what you're doing, you know. This is why the Lord said he never knew you when the time comes, man. You don't read either. Church people, they don't read. They go whatever the reverend tells them is law, or whatever the reverend tells them is right or wrong, you know. This is 2 Corinthians 4:3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Mashiach, who is the image of Yahweh, should shine unto them. You know? Because you got to realize, man, once again, these people's mind are blinded. They're seared. That image is a stronghold, you know, and it's on our people's minds. You know, when you go into our people's house, they have the image on the walls. They have it on the coffee tables. You know, you have Barack Obama, then you got a picture of Cesare right there. You know, right next to each other, and Martin Luther King. You got it's the trifecta right there. You know, and that's mostly your Negro homes. In Latino homes, you'll just have a picture of Cesare, and you're gonna have the picture of Guadalupe, the open pussy, you know, and it's just opening it up, just looking crazy as hell, looking like a Edomite, you know. And once again, this image is why it's a killer image, man, because it dumbs down our people, man. You know, it's been a blinder on our people, man. You know. And like the scripture says, it's blinded their minds, man. You know, their minds are stuck on that image, man. And when the image is done, it's damaged our people, man. They believe in full heart that Esau is a hero, and this image, and he comes in this image, man. You know, so it's a damning image, man. And this is our job to knock these things down. So once again, when you follow these witches like Miley Cyrus, the Beyoncés, you know, the Jay-Z's, you know, that's a warlock. You know, these are all people who pray and worship that image, man. You know, that Cesare image, man. Even you got the monkey Jay-Z calling himself Jehovah. You know, so these guys look at Kanye West. He believes that he's the prophet himself. You know, the list goes on and on. Once they get a certain amount of money, they get these people following them. In their minds, they believe that they're God. You know, and they are to these people. And then who gives them power? That image, that Sejere image, which allows them to do their wickedness and continue on in their wickedness. You know? Where was that? Let me continue. This is Second Corinthians 4:5. For we preach not ourselves, but Yahushua Mashiach, the Lord, and ourselves, your servants, for Yahushua's sake. For Yahweh, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, have shined in our hearts to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of Yahweh in the face of Yahushua Mashiach. But yeah, just basically saying, that we have this knowledge and these people in the world don't, and they're stupid, and they're going to continue to worship, these false images until the Lord comes down and strikes and cracks the sky and comes down and show you his true form and image. With that being said, I hope this is edifying. Shalom, Makim.